Have you ever wondered what if Taylor Swift's Bad Blood music video were a movie? No? Me neither. But I guess people in Hollywood had different ideas than us, because Charlie's Angels remake that came out at the end of 2019 looks like a movie version of Bad Blood music video, but somehow even worse. Before I get into the bland, uncooked, meaty bits of the movie, I just wanna say that this movie is filled with men bad and female good rhetoric. It is littered everywhere in the plot, but I won't be focusing on that because I want to show that even if they removed all that blatant gender-based stupidity from the movie, it still would be a very bad movie. And yeah, spoilers ahead. The first thing I want to say is that this movie is not funny at all. There is no humor or funny moment for me in this movie. Now that's out of the way, let's do this. Lack of danger. Normally in these type of action spy movies, there are two types of dangers that are intertwined to push the plot forward. One is the danger posed by the villain to the common public or someone other than the protagonist in the movie. I will use the example of movie Kingsman, the first one, because the second one is shite. So in that movie, Samuel L. Jackson was the villain, and the danger he posed was that he wanted to kill most of the human population. That's what I mean by danger to public. And the second danger is to the protagonist, which is in most cases caused by protagonist trying to apprehend the villain or stop his plan to endanger the public, landing protagonist in the crosshairs of the villain, like how Galahad is killed trying to stop Samuel L. Jackson in Kingsman, and how Eggsy gets in danger doing the same thing. The reason why I am explaining this is because this is how most of the spy movie plots go. Even Charlie's Angel try to follow this method, but they totally mess that up too. First of all, the danger to the public is not explained at all. I'm not sure it is much of a danger to begin with. There is this ugly looking gadget called Callisto this company develops, and this girl called Alina is part of the team that developed it. She's coder or programmer or something. So the company thinks this device will save the world by providing a source of clean energy. How will it do that, you might be asking? Well, too bad, they don't explain that at all. Anyway, Princess Yasmin here says that this device can be used to kill people as it can be weaponized to emit a high power EMP wave which will fry any human's brain who is in vicinity. That is dangerous, but there are few issues here. In the movie she says that she reported the issue to her superior who buried it, but in movie the device is not even needed to weaponize but has this EMP burst as one of its voice activated feature. Sure, it needs override, but it is still a feature. I'm pretty sure the other development team would have noticed this too, not just her. And the danger she thinks is that they are gonna sell these devices to public, but in the movie the device can be used to emit EMP only once, which fries the device along with anyone standing nearby. Don't you think people would start noticing that whenever someone's brain was turned to liquid, there was this device nearby? Let's move to second danger, which is to the protagonist. In this movie, the angels have to go through 3 different fight scenarios, not including the opening scene, which I'll talk about later in the video. The fight choreography is okay, nothing jumps out to be bad or good, but there is a key ingredient missing: danger. Apart from this very first fight between Jane and this guy at the cafe, there is no apparent danger to the angels. He uses a minigun, but it just makes noise. There is no physical damage to the world in the movie. No passerby who gets caught in the crossfire, no stray bullet even scratching the exposed Jane trying to shoot back. Even when they are in an explosion, they don't get a single scratch to their skin. Lord help us if something ever happens to their $1 million faces. Without any danger of actual injury or death, there are no stakes. Lack of character depth. This was very apparent weakness of this movie. Normally when I review movies that are remakes or sequel, I try to watch the old movie to see which things new one did better, or sometimes just to refresh my memory on the lore. But for this movie, I didn't even have to do that. Apart from Kristen Stewart's character Sabina, other characters don't have a memorable character. There is no character arc for any characters in the movie. There are no personality differences or unique traits. Apart from Sabina, all other characters are either two-dimensional or just inconsistent. All the men characters in this movie are two-dimensional. The most memorable male character in this movie might be Johnny Smith, who has less than a couple of minutes of screen time. It doesn't mean he is a good character, it just tells you how bad the characters are in this movie. Patrick Stewart for Bosley didn't look good at all, especially if you compare it to Bill Murray's Bosley. In this movie, the Angel-Bosley relation is non-existent, which was a letdown. All the other men character, even Hodak the assassin, is not worth mentioning. So let's just move on to the women. As I said, Kristen was alright, apart from the cringeworthy opening scene which is blatant pandering.
I think women can do anything.
Then there is Jane. She is former MI6 and has a pretty cool first entrance in the movie. She is badass and a competent fighter, but then the movie forgets all that and gives us this scene.
What are you doing?
I get that they want to show the soft side of angels, which this movie tries to do a lot and fails miserably. The biggest mistake this movie makes, which is consistent with its opening scene, is that it thinks all women can do everything, which is not true. Not all women or even men, to be honest, can be spies or are good at combat. You need sharp mental skills and physical training for that. And similarly, not all women display their emotions similarly, especially if you are a highly trained spy or a former MI6 agent. I assume these people are better at hiding their emotions and especially the details of their operatives and their covert organization. But not this movie. In this movie, the angels blabber everything about them and their organization and emotions. Even Eggsy, who was a new recruit to Spy World, would not spill beans like that, and these angels are supposed to be pros. The third angel, Elena, is not an angel yet. She becomes angel in the cameos after the movie ends. Her character is the outsider, a normal person, sort of like audience insert. Maybe that's why angels keep dumping unnecessary exposition on her about their organization. And then there is Elizabeth Banks as Bosley, who used to be an angel. Her character is, I don't know, she's just there. If you have seen my videos, you know that unlike other reviewers, I barely mention who wrote or directed the movie. I don't care, to be honest, thus I don't lambast a director if the movie is not good. Elizabeth Banks is the director and co-producer of this movie, and she also wrote the whole screenplay. But this movie is a big miss. Coincidentally, a week ago when I was on vacation, I saw Whip It. It is a movie directed and produced by none other than a former angel, Drew Barrymore. And I had the script for that movie review ready when I watched this movie yesterday, and I'm not comparing both of these movies. If I were, Whip It is way better. But I'm talking about characters here, and Drew Barrymore plays a side character in that movie she directed and produced. Her character is memorable and consistent throughout the movie. And you know what? Whip It is an all-female movie. Yep. There are minor male characters in that movie and even they are memorable, and I would go as far as to say that Whip It has even better action than this new Charlie's Angels movie. I can't end the character segment without talking about the earlier Angels. Although those movies are old and outdated, but their angels definitely had their character. They were sarcastic and sharp, and all of them had a personality and consistent character trait. In this movie, only Kristen's character barely comes close to that. Like most other bad movies these days, this movie tried to establish a franchise and forgot to establish the core characters and coherent plot. Lack of sense and a villain in the plot. The whole plot of this movie is so convoluted and senseless, but they forget to introduce a proper villain. This is very much related to the lack of danger to the characters. Movie tells us that angels have to get this Callisto device to stop bad things from happening, but what are those bad things is not explained at all. They tell us that this device can be used to kill people, but there is no establishment of motive. Like, who will do that? They don't establish the villain who would use this device. Apart from that, they don't tell us how acquiring this device would solve the problem in the first place. Because in the movie, we are told that there are specs of this device, and this guy has already given it to these guys. They can surely make more even if you take all these devices. Otherwise, these would be less useful to them than a common frag grenade, because these devices, I'm sure, would be a lot costlier to manufacture than a grenade and are one-time use only. The movie doesn't address this issue at all. There is no mention of these being mass-produced or angels trying to stop the production or even trying to destroy the developmental research. The villain in this movie are pathetic if they are to be considered a villain. The first person that angels have to stop is this Peter guy who was Alina's boss. But he gets one-tapped by Hodak, which takes us to Hodak the assassin. Hodak can easily kill Sabine here, but he just walks away. He can kill them here too, but doesn't. This movie makes no sense at all. Patrick Stewart only needs Elena to get root access. Why not kill the other two? Not just that, why does he even need root access at all? Elena killed this security guard guy without having root access. So why does he want that? It is not explained in the movie. Patrick Stewart is a final villain revealed later, which was not a twist at all because it was obvious if you are paying any attention to the movie. They try to insinuate that Elizabeth Banks is the villain, but they don't show a reason why she would be. There is no motivation for her to betray angels. Apart from that, Johnny Smith being not in jail is proof that Patrick was behind it. Anyway, Patrick Stewart's character has no strong motivation to want Callisto because it may be the dumbest weapon to use. First, it is very expensive and traceable. Second, it is a hassle. You have to be far away to use it, otherwise it will kill you too. Then you have to go to recover it, otherwise people will know how the victim got killed. Plus, it takes like 10 seconds to charge up and deploy. Your victim might just walk away unwittingly from the EMP radius. Other senseless stuff. Angels have no regard for other humans. Doesn't matter if they are good or bad. Angels harm them without any care or reason. Exhibit A. They kill this security guard for no reason and don't show any remorse, and stupidly leave the murder device with Elena's fingerprints behind. The company has Elena's fingerprint in their system because the movie shows that. Exhibit B. Jane just knocks out this guy and leaves him there. And they joke about that whether he is dead or not. This guy is not a criminal or some bad guy. He is just a common man getting caught in Angel's stupidity for no reason. And all these scenes where they tell Elena how they got ID cards are redundant and stupid. We don't need to know how they did this in flashback. They are supposed to be highly capable spies. We can accept that they are able to get their hands on these measly ID cards. Exhibit C. Angels just throw this guy out of the window for no reason. I cannot think a single reason why would they do that. It would have been better to keep this guy hidden inside here than to throw him out in the open for anyone to discover his body. Movie has so many scenes that don't make any sense. Like when their car gets pushed into the river, why did Jane just fly out of the car like that? Did they use Ragdoll mod from GTA to shoot this scene? It still would not make any sense. She was sitting in the front. How did she fly out from the back? The force with which the car turned over the bank wasn't even that much for this to happen. Just to make this even more stupid, this has no bearing on the scene. Nothing would have changed if she were still in the car. This scene where Jane makes an improvised smoke bomb is not even needed in this movie. It's stupid on so many levels. First of all, why did she even do that? She could have just walked away. It's not like she needed to make it. She didn't had any immediate concern. She took all her time to make this. Second, what does the smoke even do? It doesn't give her time to get away because she just stands there behind the glass and watches them. She could have easily run away minutes ago without wasting time on this stupid stunt. Leave her fingerprints all over the place. They did all this to set up a forced meet with Noah Centineo and Jane. And about that, why is Noah Centineo in this movie? I mean, his character does nothing at all. I'm not kidding. He does not a single thing. Why is he here at all? I'm so confused. So one thing you might have noticed that angels have this technology to copy someone's fingerprint like this, which doesn't make any sense because fingerprint will be horizontally inverted and wouldn't work. Let's just say it does. Then why the hell did Patrick Stewart not use this to copy Alexander Brock's fingerprint to get root access? It doesn't make sense. Not only that, why did they even have to make him agree to put his finger there when they can very well force his hand on Callisto device? And then at the end they reveal that all the girls at the party are angels too. Ingrid is an angel too, which is not shocking as she was the one who gave Elena Townsend agency's card in the first place and insisted that she will need it. Anyway, that's not why I'm mentioning this scene. I am talking about this scene because it is perplexingly stupid. So Patrick Stewart's character was the first bossly in this movie. He should know a lot of angels because he was the oldest member in the agency and he only retired even less than a week ago. I mean, maybe a month ago. He should know a lot of angels because he was the oldest member in the agency. Why didn't he recognize any single one of them? Seriously, why would he not get suspicious, especially when he is working in the same company where Alina and Ingrid were working? And last not the least, the dialogues are very bad in this movie, especially the opening scene. It's pandering and not well written at all. I give this movie 3 out of 10. I hope you guys liked the video. Subscribe your boy Devil for more of this kind of content. I know I'm not there yet, but I'm learning and I will keep improving my videos. For future videos, I have script for Dr. Sleep and Whip It ready. I will be uploading them soon, so make sure to subscribe to my channel. Anyway, this movie was bad, and as I said, I didn't want to talk about the blatant pandering in this movie because I don't want any part of that discussion, whether for it or against it. I think it's just waste of time. There are few things that I think were good in this movie if they could have been executed correctly. Like Kristen Stewart's character was okay, but she was alone in the pool of two-dimensional or in some case non-dimensional characters. Apart from that, the angels in this movie seem to be in their nascent state of development. Like the proper 3 women team formed after the movie ended in the cameos. I like the origin of this team. The concept is fine, but the execution and the plot is very bad. Anyway, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.